press, which has the factory sports exhaust, which with the roof down just sounds just epic. It just unleashes all the demons, it feels like. Hi, my name's Raj from Sportscars. In this video I'm going to be comparing the 2981 Porsche, the Boxster S here in racing yellow, and the Cayman S here in Guards red. Two very iconic colours, very bright, very vibrant, and extremely desirable specs as well. They're both the S model, so they both have the 3.4 flat 6, and both have a very, very high specification. So they have sport chrono, they have sport design wheels. The Cayman S has the 7-speed ZF PDK box, which is a semi-automatic, can be run in manual, semi-automatic and fully automatic modes. And the Boxster has the manual gearbox, but it also has some other trick features as well. So I'm going to run through both in terms of how they differ, how they're similar, static, and then also take them both out for a drive and explain how they differ on the drive as well. So first of all, I've got two keys here. Now from the factory, all of these cars came with sort of like a car-shaped key, and you could spec it with it being in the colour of the car. So obviously this yellow one is for this yellow Boxster. Now immediately, obviously the Boxster is a convertible. I don't need to make too much point of that, but obviously what it can do, which the Cayman can't, is you can lower the roof, and remotely in this case. No levers or buttons that you have to push inside the car. It can all be done on the remote. There are obviously the controls in the car as well. So I'll just open them both up. Okay, so starting with the Boxster, this was actually a very special car because it was spec'd by Porsche UK to go on the press fleet back in 2012. So there's actually 3 years difference between these two. So this one's a 2015, this one's a 2012. They made these up to basically the end of 2015, and then they moved on to the 718s, which is a completely different car. Even though the body looks very similar, they have a 4-cylinder turbo engine rather than the flat 6s. So going back to this Boxster, as I said, it has the sport design wheel. The console is very similar in both cars. In fact, it's identical, other than the fact that this Boxster, having the electric roof, has some extra buttons here. But essentially, as I said, has sport chrono, has PCM with the sat nav. It has, because it has sport chrono, it has sport plus. It was also spec with PASM, which is the switchable suspension, and it has the switchable exhaust as well. And the other buttons on here are the spoiler to go up and down, the start-stop functionality, and traction control. You can turn that off as well. So as you can see, and this car also has the standard, what they're called, sport seats. So they are fully electric. So they have lumbar, and also this front section can go forwards and back as well. So they have air cushions and everything else. So very, very special seats in themselves. Then obviously you've got the 6-speed manual gearbox, which with that console, center console being slightly high, is right where you want it in the palm of your hand at any moment. Dials are the same in either, unless they were spec'd with a different color set. So you could have red. I think you can have like yellow as well. And this car also has the memory seats, obviously with that lumbar support and that forward section support. It also has the steering wheel control is all electric, whereas in the Cayman it was spec with the standard system, which is manual. So this has easy entry as well, and it will remember the settings, steering wheel and the mirrors. So going to the Cayman, this has the PDK. So as I said, this centre section doesn't have that various bits. This car doesn't have the PASM, it doesn't have the sports exhaust, but as I'll demonstrate later, this has a very interesting modification on its exhaust, so it sounds very similar to the sports exhaust. And there's the PDK shifter, which also goes down and then it can go across to turn it to full manual. It has the sport design steering wheel. The difference with the manual version is that it has paddles behind. On the left hand side, you press that one towards you to go into a lower gear, and on the right hand side you press that one towards you to go into a higher gear. So a very good system. As I said, it has sport chrono. This one was spec'd with red dials, so it has those red instead of that silver one in the middle, and black on the side. So another neat option. This one has sport seats plus, so you can see those are the hardback sport seats which have a plastic back. And I'll compare it to the standard sports. Oh, and also red belts. But I can compare it. I'll show you the backs of what they call the standard sports seats are sort of a leather finish at the back. And you have speakers there. This car hasn't got Bose, whereas this car has Bose. So it has a different speaker setup. So it has speakers in slightly different places. And I believe this system is a 10 speaker system with 285 watts or thereabouts. The Bose is close to 500 watt. I think it's 485, and I believe it's 11 speakers. So there's the two cabins. Very similar, same amount of space. You can move the seats as far back as each other. And I'll just open the front boots and show you that they're the same as well. So there is the Guards Red Cayman S front boot, all the tools in the sides, battery under this section here. Again, Boxster here, battery in the front there, tools at the sides, same size boot, nothing different. That's where the wind deflector storage bag is. And then looking at the backs of them, so you have Porsche Cayman S badging there, Porsche Boxster S badging there. I'll show you the difference in the size of the boots on these as well. So there's the rear of the Cayman S. You have this extra section here. You have the oil top up there, coolant top up there. In the Boxster, you have oil top up there, coolant there, and I think it's slightly deeper in the Boxster, but you don't have that middle section, obviously, between this rear boot and the cabin, which is covered by the hatch, because obviously it doesn't have a hatch. Then looking at the exhausts and the rear sections, these both have parking sensors front and rear. You have the same exhaust tips on the back, same lights. The wheels on both are the 20-inch, two different design 20-inch wheels, same sizes though, so the same widths. So these are the Sport Techno, which were an exclusive code, and these are the Carrera S, and these were specified to be finished in satin platinum, whereas these were specified to be finished diamond cut and gloss black as a combination. just show you the front lights. Both have PDLS, so they have the rotating bezel headlights, xenons. Parking sensors on both are there and there. Both have headlight washers as well, silver. There's PDLS there, and then there's the sensors there. So very similar. They have a slightly different lower bumper design. So you've got that black section there, that was spec'd from factory like that. And then you have this more incorporated design of the Boxster, so it doesn't split off that lower section on this racing yellow one. So yeah, and because these are both the S models of the 981, they both come with the larger brakes, and you can see from the factory they were both as standard spec'd with the red calipers. You could spec them in yellow and other colours if you wanted to, but basically most, if it's an S, it will have red calipers versus the sort of grey, matte or black finish that you see on the non-S's. So yeah, I mean there's a lot very similar. Obviously the roof makes a big difference, and I'll be taking both out now for a drive and telling you about how I think they're different, how they're similar on the road. Right, I'm going to start off the driving side of this video in the Cayman S 981. You can probably tell that because I've got a roof over my head. Obviously the Boxster has that fabric folding electric roof. This car obviously has the PDK gearbox. It has Sport Chrono Plus package, which means it has Sport Plus mode, it has launch control, it has all the amazing features that make these dynamically exceptional. It has the PADM, which is Porsche active drivetrain mounts, which stiffen and slacken the gearbox mounts. If you have it in Sport Plus, it stiffens them right up, so you'll feel the gear changes more in that mode. And Sport Plus is sensational. It wakes up the PDK box and makes it, if I just switch it on now, it just makes it much more open to being revved. It holds gears for much longer. The throttle's also a bit livelier. It just feels absolutely sensational in that mode. It's not for every day because it does hold gears pretty much all the way to the red line, so most people will probably run it in sport mode, which I've just switched it to now. And then if you just want a leisurely drive, you'll turn that off completely, and then it will be as docile as anything. So that's what's great about the PDK box in either 981, is it's sort of like 3 different characters, even in full auto. But what's nice is also you flick it into manual, and then you have complete control either with the gear stick or you can use the pedals. On this car, because it has the Sport Design steering wheel, you get the down gear on one side, the plus gear on the other, and they follow the steering wheel as you turn around the corner, so they're always at your fingertip, ready to work. If you didn't have the Sport Design steering wheel, you'd have little toggle buttons, which you get used to, but basically either side can do up or down a gear. So you push away to go up a gear and pull towards you to go down a gear. It just takes some getting used to, that's all. If you decide to start changing gears with the paddles in auto mode, it will allow you to do that as much as you want, and then after it detects, I don't know, 10-15 seconds after the last time you use the paddles that you're not likely to use them again, it will switch back into full auto mode. Also, whatever you do when you pull up at a junction, whatever gear, it will know to downshift so the car doesn't stall, essentially, and it won't let you downshift into a gear where it would cause the engine to over rev. So that's another thing, it protects the engine from over revs. I think you can still get range 1 and 2 out of 6, but you won't easily get any higher than that in a PDK box, whereas a manual, is obviously more vulnerable to changing into the wrong gear. So instead of selecting fourth, you select second from third. So that's one of the other benefits of the PDK. But I want to talk about the Cayman itself. So structurally, the Cayman feels incredibly solid. It's got great visibility all round. The glass is more than enough to have a good view round. The only thing I'd say, and this applies to all 981s, is they do feel wide at the front. You can't really see too far down into the front, so it takes a little bit of getting used to. But if you've got a car like this one and the Boxster, which is equipped with front and rear parking sensors, then you do get that audible warning and the screen telling you where there is an obstruction at the front and likewise at the back as well. So that's a added bonus that you would want to have when buying one of these, I think. Now, this car doesn't have the factory sports exhaust, but it does have a lightly modified standard exhaust system. So it has two small pipes that bypass the rear silencer, and that just causes a bit more noise from the exhaust system. It actually sounds like the factory sports exhaust with the valves open but all the time. It doesn't have that switch to turn it down, as it were. So when you do switch it on, you immediately notice it's a little bit louder than the standard exhaust. The Boxster has the full switchable exhaust, so I'll be demonstrating that later on when I'm driving that car. Essentially, these two with it open sound very similar. Obviously, with the Cayman, you have a little bit less noise because you haven't got that open roof experience. Hearing the sound in the open air, it is slightly muted, but you still hear the engine, you still hear the gearbox, you still hear the exhaust. In terms of composure, mid-engine sports car balance is just, it can't be beaten by a front engine car. Porsche have done such an amazing job, even from the 986 Boxster, in developing how these cars ride over bumps, how they ride through corners and under acceleration, under braking. Few cars can beat the feeling behind the wheel of this car. And I would say that obviously I'll wait until I actually get in the Boxster, but there's no disadvantage to having the roof off in terms of its body composure, how it rides through corners. The Cayman in isolation is sensational in how it handles bumps, cambers, unexpected braking, anything like that. It just goes where you want it to. It doesn't feel out of control at any point. So I can't fault it. I really can't fault this car, and I wouldn't want to. Porsche, when they developed the Boxster and then followed it up with the Cayman, did an incredible job of making a highly balanced, all-round, practical sports car. As I showed you in the unit, the practicality of these cars is actually very surprising. If you don't need more than 2 seats, you've got all the room you could need in one of these cars. Both the Cayman and the Boxster are running larger 20-inch wheels, which was the largest option on these cars. They may handle slightly better on 19s, but the wheel arches were enlarged between the 987 and 981 to accommodate bigger wheel styles. So the 19s, although they may handle slightly better because they've got the bigger sidewall, so they've got a little bit more flex in the rubber. The look of the car, I think, really suits a 20-inch wheel, which is why you'll find that a lot of S's have got the 20-inch wheels in one of the designs. This one's got Sport Techno. The Boxster S has Carrera S wheels, so that's something to consider as well. I'd say that if you wanted a car that's an all year round proposition, you're parking outside on the street, I would say you probably want the Cayman rather than the Boxster. But the Boxster, well, we'll see. Let's see how the Boxster handles, drives, feels behind the wheel shortly. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, here I am in the other 981 box. This is the Boxster S, which has the factory sports exhaust, which with the roof down just sounds just epic. It just unleashes all the demons, it feels like. It's just makes you smile. And even at speed with the wind deflector on, you don't really get buffeted around at 60 miles an hour. You're able to hear me on this camera. So there's no, it's hard to say, there's not really a huge amount of disadvantage in owning a Boxster S versus owning the 981 Cayman S. You have that extra level of being involved in the world with the roof down. You feel, I don't know, part of the scenery as you drive. And I personally feel that with the roof down, you have less of an urge to drive at 10/10ths. You can drive at 7/10ths and still have a thrilling drive. It relaxes you, it makes you feel, I don't know, happy. With the roof down, it feels like you've almost got the ultimate driving experience. And that's essentially where the Boxster is so great, and why the other manufacturers, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, struggle to entice those real driving enthusiasts, because the driving experience of the Boxster is just sensational. There is no disadvantages to having that roof off. It was designed to be a convertible from day one, so it doesn't scuttle shake. You don't get vibrations shimmying through the steering wheel. The roof mechanism is also fabulous. I mean, it will go up. I mean, I'm doing 36 miles an hour. It will go up on the move. It is a fully automated system. So there we go. It's all the way up, and then I can even lower it again at above 30 miles an hour. So if you get caught in the rain, it doesn't matter. You can just put the roof up and not have to pull over and be all embarrassed in front of other road users putting the roof up. You just carry on driving, put the roof up. So for an all-round, all-weather experience, I can't think of a better place to be. And I would actually say it goes above the Cayman S in terms of the all-round experience of having a sports car, mid-engine sports car. The roof down element just adds something that can't be matched by the Cayman. No matter how it might be, I don't know, 5% more dynamically capable. I suppose if you were using it on track, then you would prefer to have a hard top. But other than that, performance-wise, it's matched. There's 5 horsepower difference between the two, so really there's nothing else to say. I think the Boxster is the more enthralling drive, and I think I'll end this video there. If you've enjoyed the video, please click on the subscribe button and like this video. Thanks for watching.